Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent Potomac Beads Treasure Edition subscription box, the one for October 2023. It's called Ghoulish Goodies. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below that will take you to the unboxing video I did for this subscription, in case you want to go back and watch it, where I go into a little bit more detail about all the beads and everything that came in the box. And I'll put a link in the description box below that will take you to the page on the Potomac Beads website that tells you all about the subscriptions that they have. They have two different subscriptions. The Treasure Edition, which is the one I get, and then they also have the Kit Edition. But that page will tell you about both, and it's where you can subscribe if you want to, if you're interested in doing that. I'm going to be using 3 of the 10mm Czech glass faceted rounds that came in the box. And then I have the 8mm Gemstone round beads. They're white Magnesite. I don't know how many of those I'm going to be using. I've got some bead caps for my stash. I've got a lobster clasp, some 4mm jump rings, an 8mm jump ring, a little piece of extender chain, a ball head pin, and a little 4mm bicone from my stash that I'm going to hang off the extender chain as a dangle. Got some chain here. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to need, if any. I just need to wait and see how long the necklace turns out to be. You know me, it'll probably turn out to be pretty long. I've got some pieces of my 22 gauge German style wire. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, the the crimping pliers that I use to tuck in the burrs when I cut off wire, my cutters, and my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. I'll put everything, just links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. So hold on, let me get some of my beads poured out and I'll be back. Okay, I've got some of my beads poured out here, and this is just going to be really simple wire wrapped loops or wire wrapped links that I'm going to link together and make it just a really simple little necklace here. I'm going to put my 3 big 10mm beads at the focal part, and then I'm going to put my white Magnesite beads up each side. So I'm going to do a couple on video here with you, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of wire. These are about 3-inch pieces of wire. I'm come down about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. And I'm going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the tool. I rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take the short piece up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Take this wire down a little bit. I'm going to wrap my short piece of wire around the long piece of wire about 3 times. I'm going to cut off the extra wire. I'm going to put a bead cap on one of my white Magnesite beads and another bead cap. I'm going to take my pliers. I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Hold on tight. Take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Like that. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. I want to make sure I get that first wrap in under the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop. And then I'm just going to wrap until there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters, cut off the extra wire. Then I'm going to take these crimping pliers, and I use the little half circles on each end to tuck in the burrs that are left when I cut off the wire. And if you're new to my channel and this is the first time you've seen me doing this and you wonder why I wait until I get both loops made, I know a lot of people go ahead and tuck in their burrs when they make the first loop, but I just find it easier to do it when I have the bead to brace against. If I do it without that bead on there, I end up mangling the wire and the loops and everything. So now I'm going to take another piece of my wire. I'm going to go down a little bit, about an inch, inch and a half. Bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take the short piece of wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. My bent chain, first I almost forgot. First I'm going to open my loop a little bit. Put this link on here that I've already made. I'm going to close my loop. Now I'm going to hold on to my loop. Take my wire, the short piece of wire, wrap it around the long piece of wire about 3 times. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off the extra wire. I'm going to take one of my big beads, put it on here. Take my pliers and go to the very tip of the pliers because I don't want a very long neck. Because I want the longer neck you have, the more wraps you have to make. And I want to have about the same wraps that I do on this end. And I have found with this 22 gauge wire, if I go to the very tip of my pliers, it turns out that I get about 3 wire wraps when I do that. So now I'm going to bend over at a 90-degree angle. Put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this piece up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Take this wire down a little bit. Take my other bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Make sure to get that first wrap and under the loop and not over top of it. And then just wrap until there's no more room to wrap. And I'm going to cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs that are left. Straighten my loop up there. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to do 3 for my focal here. And then I'm going to do my white magnesite beads up each side. And like I said, I don't know how many I'm going to use because I don't know how many I need to get it as long as I want it to be. But when I get it as long as I want it to be, I'll be back and we'll put the chain and the findings and all that on there. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beaded chain made here, and now I'm going to put some chain on each side of it. These are about 4.5 inches of chain each. So I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it up, put my chain on here, one side of my necklace, close it up, take another 4mm jump ring, open it up, put the other side of my necklace on, sure to get it closed really well. I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring, open it up, put my lobster clasp on here, put it on this side, close it up really well. Now I've got a 8mm jump ring. I'm going to put on this side with my extender chain. Close it up really well. Now I'm going to make my little dangle. I got a ball head pin and a little 4mm bicone. I'm going to go to the tip of my pliers, bend over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take the wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I'm going to bent chain those pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring the wire down a little. My other pair, bent chain those pliers. Oh, nope. I almost forgot. I know y'all out there hollering at me saying you're about to forget to wire wrap it to your extender chain, because I do that all the time, but I remembered. I caught myself. Barely, but I caught myself. Need to open my loop a little bit more. There we go. Now I'm going to close my loop back. Now I'm going to hold on to my loop. Try to hold my chain out of the way here. Bring my wire down a little bit. Now I'm going to start my route. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. My crimping pliers and tuck in my little burr. there's my necklace all done. So hold on, I'll get my tools and everything put up and I'll be back. Okay, there's my very simple, very easy little wire wrap necklace made with some of the beads from the latest Potomac Beads Treasure Edition subscription box. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below that will take you to the page of the Potomac Beads website where it tells all about the subscriptions and everything, and where you can subscribe if you want to. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.